I love you more than Debbie and Hillary does.
Now, there's a little button that says leave meeting. Should I leave the meeting?
No,
if you're going to fight, I better leave the meeting.
I was going to say we'll get security.
I'm all yours. I'm all yours. Take me.
I love him. I love him. I love him. I love
Hillary.
Yeah, I love you.
I love you. God, I didn't realise you were on. That's a surprise.
I know. The last time we saw you, we were together. Do you remember?
I do remember. Yes, that show that lasted 4 nights. How did your show go, Debbie? How did your show go in Sonning?
No, I'm still there. Natalie.
Oh, you're still there? Fabulous.
You don't know. Natalie's in it with me.
Oh,
Natalie is here.
Hi, Mark. They've all been saying how much they're in love with you, and I can feel love coming on already.
Yeah, well,
yes,
obsessed with him.
I've got that love vibe. And you too. Lovely to meet you.
That's why we're all wearing pink. Because pink is the colour of love.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
And I'm sure Anthea would feel the same. Anthea would be so jealous.
Yes.
Girls, you know.
Why can't we find a man like you? Me personally, you know, you are. It's big because you're funny, you're handsome, you've got everything,
small, talented.
And then just, you know, sorry,
losing my hair.
Who cares?
Well, out there. They're out there, girls. You've just got to look. You've just got to look very, very carefully and just don't jump in with the first guy that comes along. Wait. Well, you've waited a long time, all of you, haven't you? But you've all had your moments. Come on, you've all had your moments. And
I actually think the 2 Pomskys mated actually, because she's kind of smaller than a Pomsky, but bigger than a Pomeranian.
And was it planned, that pregnancy?
Well, I don't think it was, Jo. I think actually this is why I had to adopt her.
I think you've done very well. First crosses are always very intelligent. Myrtle isn't the sharpest knife in the drawer.
Oh, she is gorgeous, isn't she? Beautiful.
It's heaven.
Mia's with me. I hope you don't mind.
Who's with you?
Mia.
Beautiful.
Who's Mia?
Mia's my little cat. She.
Oh, lovely.
Oh.
We've never had anybody show their pussy before.
I don't know why, but she sits there whenever I'm in meetings or Zooms. I don't know what it is. And then I've got another one, a ginger Tom called Milo, big thing, but he's always out. You know what men are like.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Met Jenny on a blind date.
Yeah.
Oh. And I couldn't. When I first saw her, when she walked into the room, I'd never seen any woman like her. I mean, she was like Ted. She was just perfect, you know. And I thought, wow, this is a blind date. And so, I mean, I had no money at that particular. I had no money in my pockets, so she even bought the drinks, you know. There was another couple there. So, I mean, after that, it was a slowing progress of seeing each other when we could while I was on the road. But I mean, when I met her, she had a car. I thought, wow. And she lived in a attached house, which I thought, you know, and the father was a head teacher. Well, he was more than a head teacher. He was the head of a physically handicapped school, but, you know, for unfortunate children. And they were beautiful people. And after, I think about 6 months, we got married. And then it went wild. You know, the 60s were just wild.
So we went the other day and we had colonic hydrotherapy. And it was quite the experience.
I bet.
It was extraordinary. It really was. It really was. Because you want...
It's apparently really good for you, though, isn't it?
It is unbelievably good for you. It is unbelievably good for you. And it has had a profound effect. And I feel more awake, more alive than I did before.
You wild great. Wouldn't drag me. No way. Never.
Oh, Caddy's so brilliant, by the way.
That's so lovely.
And Nat. Would you, Nat?
Would I? I did once. It was very, very weird. I think I had to have 3 visits. It was very strange. No, I don't think so. I don't.
Did you not have it? So you did it. So you did do it.
I did do it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh my God. No, it wasn't pleasurable for me. No.
It can be. I think the hydrotherapy one is better because they flush water through your system, and I think probably that helped. I don't
know what they did, but this, if you can imagine when they do the water thing, this is my face. I feel like one of those animals that's taken to the vet, and the vet does something to them, and the animals always go.
They do.
And I love my acting, and I actually did do a musical, would you believe, called Wag the Musical, and I want to go back. It was in the West End, did better than Simon Cowell's musical, but I would love to go back to acting. Actually, I really, it was my first love.
Yeah, and you know, so you should.
You look so fabulous, Lizzie, and also what I love about you is your outspokenness, but you're fun. You are so much fun to be around, and you know your broadcasting career is always fun. You don't take yourself seriously, which is watching you the other day fall off your chair.
Well, that was actually, I had no idea. I'm very lucky. I work with a few of the news channels, and that was on Talk TV. And as I got up to put the earphones on, my lovely producer Chuck thought I looked a bit low, didn't tell me, started pumping up my seat to go higher, but forgot to put it back under my bottom when I went flying.
my body, my sex life, my womanhood, my sexuality, my vulnerability, everything about me was either skyrocketed into the media under this fetish idea that my body should only exist as a fetish for other people, or the other side, which was that people couldn't believe I even, had romantic relationships or a sex life. Can you believe? Which always makes me laugh, because I always think, I was once asked when I was about 19, 20, someone said, "Oh, how do you have sex with one arm?" And I thought, how are you? Does somebody need to sit you down and make sure how are you doing it? Because that's you don't need 2 hands. Like, are you doing it right? Precisely.
I wasn't the best at any sport, but I was the only one who had music and could sing, so that was my identity. And then after one of the shows at school, 2 girls from 2 grades higher than me came up and said, "Please call us in 10 years." And at that point, I realized this is something to go for.
My mum put me in the church choir when I was like quite young, when I was about 7. There's a story of my mum and dad keep telling me, which is when I went to playgroup, I was very young. And the first day there, the teacher had to come out and have a word. And my dad's like, "Oh no, what's he done?" He said, "Yeah, he wouldn't sing." He's like, "What do you mean he wouldn't sing? He loves singing." He's like, "He wouldn't sing." He said the piano was out of tune.
So, Debbie phoned me and she said, "Oh my God," she said, "I'm so in love with him, but he's amazing, but I don't like her."
But that's Sonny. It's not you, darling. Just so your wife doesn't think that I'm just coming on to you.
Well, why do you think I'm in this soundproofed room? I mean, she's not going to hear a thing.
Are you locked in? Has she locked you in there?
There is a kind of a Assange flap that I can get in and out of. So, yeah, that sounds rude as well now. Thanks, Debbie. It's catching. A cat flap for me, I suppose, would be the description. Yes. Yeah, we've got a cat.
A cat flap to go in the sound boost?
Well, I mean, why can't the cat use the studio? I mean, all for one and one for all and all that.